On today's episode, we've got Path of Exile 2 0.2.0 Dawn of Hunt Woes and Diablo 4 Season 8 coming out, and just a little bit more of the Magic the Gathering Omen paths. But first, that lovely intro. My name is Dom Douglas, and I've been playing Magic the Gathering for what seems like forever, but in fact, it's only been on and off for about 30 years. With that comes an expectation that I'm the best player ever. You couldn't be any more wrong in that statement. What I do like, however, is having a lot of fun. Whether it be playing Limited, Draft, Commander, Standard when I get the chance, Arena, Magic the Gathering Online, it doesn't matter as long as a good time is had. And with that, I have some opinions, not just of Magic the Gathering, but also video games, comics, maybe even a TV show or two. This is the Goblin Grenade Podcast. Yes, that's right. It's a lovely intro. I have the mic set up in a different way because somebody close to me wants me to be a little bit more visible, and I'm thinking this is a good concession because, So yeah, let me know if this works. Yeah, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about Path of Exile, a little bit of Omen Paths, and mainly Diablo 4 Season 8. I'm doing this on a Monday. I usually do these on Tuesdays because that's usually the day the Magic the Gathering news comes out. But Tuesday at 1 o'clock, the new season drops. I want to play it. So, and I'll tell you why, because and I was going to say it last week, but the issue was last week's episode ran too long, I feel, and if you watch it, thank you. Also, don't forget, I'm always bad at this. My name's Dom Douglas here for Max Heroes and Villains YouTube channel. You can check us out in-store, in person, in Matthews, North Carolina. And if you do like what you're listening and hearing, give a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to comment. Tell me what you think. I do, at the moment, have the capability of responding to the comments because we don't get that many. That will hopefully change by the end of the year. But that being said, let's get into Dawn of the Hunt for Path of Exile 2. So far, I have been... It's fixed, first off. They have... GGG, to their credit, have improved this game with Dawn of the Hunt's launch so much that it's fundamentally a different game now than when it launched as 0.2.0. But I feel so much damage had been done by the time a lot of the things could get fixed that it's too little too late for this particular season. Everybody's moved on. I mean, they started playing Last Epoch and Torchlight Infinite of all games too. And Torchlight Infinite, I'm never going to touch because it's just too many mobile style things that I have to deal with because, like, you have to make the account. You can download it on Steam, and then you got to make a account on my phone because it's cross-platform, and I'm like, whatever. So I'm just going to go really quick into actual Path of Exile forums because I haven't messed with it in quite a while. I haven't seen how many patch notes they've been up to on this one. They are up to F, and it's been a week, okay? It's been a week since the last set of updates, and that was like the last, that coincides with last week's podcast, where they were still launching a bunch of things and still fixing it, and now it seems stable. Problem is, as I said, too much damage has already been done. The vast majority of the player base has gone on to different games. What is going on here? There we go. Okay, now, yeah. So the vast majority of the player base have gone on to new games. I've barely touched it, to be honest with you. And a couple of the issues I do have as well involves the trading. Trading in this game is absolute garbage. Why can't we have an in-game player auction board like we did in Path of Exile 1? In Path of Exile 1, they have the board that you can do Very similar. If you've played PoE 2 or even 1, you know what I'm talking about. But if you've only played PoE 2, it's kind of like the currency exchange. But you do have to like still say I have a ring for 1 exalt and you offer 1 exalt. I can just press a button and sell it to you, or give you a message. No, I want it like this. The problem with what's happened with Path of Exile 2 is with the website, which was a great idea, and I championed it when I started playing it because I thought it was a great idea. And it's now turned to a little bit of a issue with gold spammers and bot accounts and basically the money people that any game of this magnitude will get, which is shocking because PoE 1 does have certain websites not affiliated with GGG, Grinding Gear Games, the developer of it, but outside third-party websites that you can buy currency on. But I haven't seen it this bad, and I haven't seen the levels of treachery that these people are doing. They will list powerful items that will go for the best levels of currency in-game for some of the worst levels of currency. So when players look at it and go on the site and be like, all right, well, let me see what this ring of basically doing infinite amount of damage. That ring doesn't exist. I'm just making an example. It'll 10 people will put it for like an exalt orb, which is the raw baseline currency exchange. And they'll collude together to make sure that the first 10 or so listings you see is for only an exalt orb, whereas this thing is going for like 2 divines, and at the moment I think the rate of currency might be 75 exalts for a divine orb. So yeah, they're basically hoping that you list it for that. They go sell it, like say, hey, send you a DM basically, hey, I want to buy this item for you have listed for an exalt. And then you buy it for an exalt, and then you immediately flip it for hundreds of exalts more. That's what they've been doing. So getting any type of gear that is endgame gear, or even it's even like normal-ish gear, that's not like unique or super crazy ability. It's really hard to buy and sell, to be honest with you. I think I sold 3 items. One of them was like a level 20 spirit gem. And I sold it for 20 exalt, and I know for a fact that I got kind of fleeced on the deal. But the problem was I had it listed, and I was playing the game consistently for 2 days for a divine. Nobody even gave me an offer for it. So I dropped it back down to like 20 exalt and see what would happen. And within 10 minutes, boom, somebody wanted to buy it. So I sold it to him. I was like, I don't care. I needed the exalts anyway to get one more piece of gear. No, I needed to get it for an orb, a jeweler's orb, because the second primary skill gem I was using needed 4 slots, and I only had 3. So trading is pretty wrecked right now, and it doesn't hurt that there was duping in this season. I'm still going to say there's a couple of people that were playing the game, used to play the game, who have started playing other games, and it's a combination of this. The vast majority who have stopped playing PoE 2 and started playing like Torchlight Infinite, Last Epoch, Diablo 4 Season 8, it's because they don't like the season. There's a very small contingent, very small percentage of these people that may have been banned because they may have gotten caught doing the exploit that flooded the market with the most rarest currency item in the game, and markets flooded, quote unquote. So yeah, it's those 2 issues, because it's made getting gear really, really hard, on top of the drop rates being absolute garbage as well. And I think that drop rate got fixed too, but I couldn't have been bothered to play because Oblivion Remaster came out of the blue, and I put about 30 hours into it last week, and Diablo 4 Season 8 drops in less than 24 hours as of me doing this recording. So that's why I'm kind of not going into playing this current season anymore. Probably will when Diablo 4 Season 8 eventually I get sick of it, because I do. So yeah, that is why I'm kind of like shying away from PoE 2 playing, and it's just because the season, I'm looking at it now, and it was a sunk fallacy cost, and I should have saw it coming, only because, I was putting time in and getting aggravated, and I was just kind of like, well, I've put this much time in, and I did spend money in the beginning of the year to get access to this. I should be playing it. And it was just a sunk fallacy cost for this season for me, and I should have realized that, because I did not have fun. Even in the endgame that I barely touched. Maps I barely touched, and I wasn't having any fun with it. And yeah, it's just, your hardcore game got a little too hardcore for the vast majority of the casuals that play your game because of how difficult it can be. And knowing that none of us are ever going to touch that level of difficulty, but you still made us have to, you still forced us to having to deal with that level of difficulty, if I made any sense whatsoever. I don't think I did, but I think I did. The other thing, so yeah, that's Path of Exile 2 for me. And next topic is going to be the shortest one, the magic-related topic, the Omen Paths. Yeah, Wizards basically said the Spider-Man set not only won't have commander cards, apparently, won't have commander decks, but also is not going to be available on Magic the Gathering Arena or Magic the Gathering Online. Instead, it's going to be a set called whatever they're naming it, but it's called Through the Omen Paths. This is when you can't get the digital rights to the cards and the art and Spider-Man and all that, because it makes sense. There is a game called Marvel Snap, so probably getting the online license would have been impossible. So now the crazy concession is they have to do this alternate art for the cards. Now my thing is it going to be like the very first, when they started messing around with Universes Beyond, when it was the Jurassic Park set in Ikoria, where it would be like Mecha Godzilla, but it would be like Hangerback Walker listed underneath it. If online they can at least use the name of like morally corrupt octopus, and then in parentheses Doc Ock, whatever, or generic rope swinging man, in quotations underneath it, Spider-Man. If that can appear online, I think it'll alleviate the vast issues that are about to be presented, because I wasn't even thinking of this, but yeah, there's going to be a section of people that only play Arena, and they're going to be looking for those particular cards, and hopefully they go to a store that, the vast majority of local gaming stores are intelligent and would know what is happening to this particular person, but there's going to be some that won't know what the heck they're talking about. So it's going to lead to some confusion, and it's going to be an interesting time, that's for sure. I think it's a big fumble, not just for Marvel, but also for Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. How can you release a set when you've been how can you get a deal together with Marvel, Disney, when you've been priding yourselves on the Arena aspect being a one-to-one, and now, because Marvel doesn't want your cards online, you now have to make an alternate set, so technically speaking, it's not a true one-to-one. Most of the problems will be alleviated if they can at least put the name underneath it, kind of like the Godzilla cards. If that's the case, then yes, fine. It's not as bad as it could have been, but if they're not even allowed to put the name Spider-Man like underneath the name of, generic rope swinging man, then there's going to be a problem. But that is something to debate about in June or July, whenever the set comes out, because I'm having fun with Tarkir Dragonstorm right now, and I can't wait to go to my gaming store this weekend and draft. I finally get to draft, because the 4 shows in 2 weeks run is done, and I don't think there's another crazy run like I just did in the wrestling. If you don't know, Dom Douglas exists. also in Max Heroes and Villains sister company, Extreme World Wrestling. So, we did a lot of shows in the past couple of weeks, and I get this week off, and then the train starts again 2 weeks from now. So I'm going to go play some Tarkir. But before Tarkir can be played, there is Diablo 4 Season 8. Now, my biggest issue with this season is it's just another Powers season. And almost every season's been that, where the main crux of the season, and let me back up a little bit, if you don't know what a season is in these type of action ARPGs, or you may have even heard them being called Diablo clones, there's always a new mechanic or a few new mechanics or a different way to play the game to say, to bring people back. It starts fresh. You start from zero. You get that grind on, and it's a beautiful thing when the seasons and the mechanics work great. But Diablo 4 has been in this weird rut where they had to spend some time actually fixing the core basis of the game so much that the planned expansion this year got pushed back to next year because they had to fix basically Loot 2.0. They had to do it again and had to do different powers and the Paragons and all this other stuff. They had to rework so much that particular 2025 expansion got delayed. They fully intend on having an expansion come out every year. That was the intent until they had to fix so many things. Now, the problem with that is, I don't think too much creativity has gone into the big mechanics of the season. Stuff shines through. Definitely shines through. Every season that I've played, I think except for some of the odd number seasons like 1, 3, 5, 7, this past season was okay. Season 5 was, I think, decent. Season 3 was terrible. Season 1 was... But the running joke I used to say was the even-numbered season team, because there's 2 teams that work on the seasons, has the talent. And I'm sorry to say that. But now it's starting to flash to me that basically the seasons have only been just powers. Like in Path of, and I'll do it like with Path of Exile. Path of Exile 1, this past season, they've had seasons where they introduced an entire new way to play the game. Delve, you had to go and collect like fuel so you can ride your cart in the mines to go further, deeper and deeper and deeper down until you hit like a checkpoint. And then the further you went, the more crazy loot that you can get. Or there's a season where it was the temples where you can go back in the past, mess with, kill a bunch of monsters, try to open up another door so it opens up in the future. So when you're done doing the temple runs in the past, it affects the future when you finally get to run into that temple and run in temple. Then there was Boat League, which I think was the best league they've ever done. I am not complaining. I've occasionally gone back to Path of Exile 1 to play for a few hours, and I'm still loving the Boat League. I'm still loving Settlers of Khadgar, Boat League, Boat League. I think it's just to say, if there's never a new season, I don't think anybody should be complaining that the game was dropped, because what a way to end. Because if the next season comes out, especially with how little resources are now dedicated to it, and it is not a home run, and I'll be truthful, it will not even be close. You'll be lucky if it like is a single. A ground ball single that had to be bobbled on the way to the shortstop throwing it to first base, and that's as much baseball knowledge as I know. And it's not going to be that good. So that's the difference between that and what Diablo has done, where it's just basically been, all right, we'll throw some new game mechanics in, and we'll also throw in a new dungeon every now, they threw in dungeons, they threw in the pit. They've thrown in incrementally more things throughout the 2 years of the game's existence to do, but the base season has always been powers. So that's, and it's all boss powers this season. But it is Belial's Return, which I still think is one of the most visually impressive boss fights in Diablo 3, PC or console. It is an amazing boss fight. The first time you did it, oh man, first time I did that, mind you, Diablo 3 kind of holds this weird place in my heart where I want to play Diablo 3 1.0 patch. I wish we could. I wish there was some way we could, because that game just was brutal, like really brutal. But maybe it's just because I want like that nostalgic feeling of discovering it for the first time. And what a throwback fight as well. It visually looks kind of better, but the same concept of the Belial fight in Diablo 3. The features of the season is Vanquish Deadly I'm literally on Blizzard's site. Encounter new challenges in Apparition Incursion world events to battle against Belial, Lord of Lies. Earn Unveiler's Oath reputation by defeating apparitions and bosses across Sanctuary. So that's a seasonal reputation thing. Everyone's done it, whether it was Dire Wolves, whether it was this past season with the Headless and stuff. You get to wield boss powers. Some of them look good, some of them look pretty bad. But there is new endgame boss farming. Earn double the rewards with Belial's loot, plus the drops from the boss who unlocks his supreme form. There's two different versions of Belial that you can do, Uber and then not Uber. But they've changed the way that you go about fighting Uber fights and boss fights in general in the game, like the ones that you got to collect the materials for to unlock. There's lair bosses. My thing that might be the most interesting, different, is the new battle pass. The battle pass was very generic. There's the season progression and then the battle pass. And full disclosure, I've bought every battle pass for every season, because I've only really had, up until I got the expansion for the Vessel of Hatred, I would only spend like $5 every like 4 months, every like 2 seasons or so, because you earned enough in-game currency with the battle pass that you can just kind of buy into the season after, and then only put in a few dollars in for every 3 seasons or so. And then I got the battle pass, and I got so many. One of the reasons why I got the collector's edition for the season pass for the expansion, the Vessel of Hatred, was basically the amount of platinum in it. And I did it in my head with how much you currently earned. I could buy season passes for the next 3 years, 4 years, just on that. So that's why I kind of did it. But they're changing that now. You can buy the premium pass. There's the Battle Pass Reliquary, which I think is the normal, the not pay version. Then there's the premium Battle Pass Reliquaries, which there's 3 of them. There's weapons, beasts, and armor. The in-game season would be Belial's return. Unlock the free rewards with favor in this reliquary. It includes a mix of valuable items to earn, like 200 platinum, a horse mount, mount armor, 3 weapons, and a town portal cosmetic. It's usually a bunch of cosmetics, but the 200 platinum in the free tier is negligible. But you do a couple seasons and you can at least buy something. Weapons. Battle pass that you buy. This reliquary grants a selection of weapon cosmetics, offering you new options of adorning yourself. Beasts is pets. Armor is once again just the armor the armor reliquary pass is just more visual cosmetics and another town portal. And then the event reliquary is the special Berserk collection collaboration event. Apparently they're collaborating with the Berserk show to unlock theme rewards during the event promotion May 6th to June 3rd. And they go into that as well. I have no idea what Berserk is. If you're a Berserk fan and you love Diablo 4, more power to you. I love it when fan bases get like this weird melding together. Yeah, so from May 6th to June 3rd, earn and collect limited time cosmetics and don the Relics of War. There's the limited time premium cosmetics, and then the Mark of Sacrifice with the Reliquary. More Battle Pass bundles, the Premium, the Deluxe Battle Pass bundle, gain access to all Premium Battle Pass reliquaries. That's what I'm going to do. The Deluxe Battle Pass includes the Wings of the Deceiver that match the bonus armor set and the new Owl Pet. More value, more choice. Yeah, I'm just going to do the Deluxe Battle Passes because I should be able to, in theory, earn a little bit more. Yeah, it's 1,800 platinum for that. So, who knows, actually. So, let me see if there's any 2 times 600 platinum total to earn between the Premium and the Deluxe and the free. So, they've dropped the amount of platinum you can earn from 7 to like 750 something to like 670, and now it's like 600 flat. So yeah, they're getting a little bit more. How do I go about saying this next thing? They're getting a little bit more quote unquote greedy with the battle passes, but you have this choice or the illusion of choice. If you now remember, the battle pass stuff is all cosmetics, and the platinum. But honestly, yeah, you can claim 9 for the armor and Belial's return. You can claim 8 for beasts and weapons. So that's basically 16 cosmetics, 34 different cosmetics available along with the free, whatever that's all of them, I think. So yeah, not entirely cool-ish, but I'll take it. I'm more excited about this season because it seems like after I haven't touched this Diablo 4 up until today for like at least 2 months. Like it's been that long. I kind of got, once I completed the battle pass and the in-game journey, I was done. I was totally done. I didn't like the grind that they were doing, and one of the things that they said in this season is the grind's going to be a little bit less, but it's going to be a little bit less until a certain point, and then if you want to get to the maximum 5 to 10% end game content stuff, like the Torment 4 and stuff like that, that's where the grind is going to take place. And I'm like, all right, maybe if I get to a certain level in the game, and then I have to grind to Torment 4, I'll be a little bit happier with the choices, because I'll be honest, the grind in like season 7 and season 6 was dreadful, very, very dreadful, especially in season 7. I didn't like how they tiered it in a way that you got, especially in this season, like where it was like you get more Paragon points, but like the last 100 are going to be really hard to get, and only like the X amount of percentage of players are going to get them. I don't like that. I didn't like it at all. So this season, I'm rolling a Barb, because apparently it's Barb and Necros are going to be really good, strong season starts. But I've always been playing Barbs. I had to delete one of them from the Eternal Realm because I just had 3 Barbarians, and I was preparing to delete the 3 classes that I attempted to roll. I rolled with the Sorceress. I rolled with the Necro this season, and then I just did this trick where I would just get like so many tree favors that I would just stuff them in my storage and then roll a new character and then just open like 50 of them up, get them to level 60 in like a couple minutes, and then I never touched them. So I thought I was going to be playing a Barbarian and a Sorcerer, and I didn't either. So I think this season I'm just exclusively going to be a Barbarian, because I love Barbarians. I've been rolling a Barbarian since D2. Mainly started really playing Barbarians in D3, but spin to win, baby. That's going to be it for me. That was a shorter podcast this week, and I'm glad it was. I'm not covering every minute thing that is going on with Diablo 4 Season 8. or, Path of Exile until, 0.3 maybe comes out, or 1.0 comes out. But that being said, I hope y'all enjoy your week. I hope whatever it is you do, whatever games you want to play or whatever time you want to use to chill and relax, I hope it's a great week for everybody out there. My name is Dom Douglas, and may your top deck always be mythic. Spin to win, barbarians, as always.